Welcome back for another try at Chapter 7, The Last Stand of AEONS End Legacy. Since things went so poorly last time, this time we're going to get some help. So we may switch out one of the cards in our supply from one that we've banished or didn't use before. So we're going to bring in Phase Portalite. So a gem, cost of 4, lets us gain 2 money. And if our 3 breach is open, it's going to give us 3 money. So we'll bring that in. We get the Malister Assistance. So during our main phase, we can gain 5 life and Gravehold gains 5 life. We can use that once this game. And lastly, the other changes, we will not be placing any evolve stickers or transform any cards. We may choose to evolve a card, but nothing will happen. So our turn order deck, we'll give that a fresh shuffle. We have the level 3 cards here. The Nemesis. Level 2. And level 1s. And with our beacon deck, we will put 2 of those into play, but will not resolve the immediately effects on those. So we'll give this a shuffle. Getting a protective beacon with 3 health, and this one gets 1 health, and we ignore the player with the lowest life suffers the damage. We have 10 health. I've already moved this or focused it twice because of our special ability. Down here we have 4 crystals that aren't good at getting spells, a spark, and our starting hand with 3 bad crystals, 1 good one, and Dell's damage. Gravehold back up to 30, and the Maelstrom Risen at 65. So we will try this one more time, starting with the Nemesis. So these do not activate. New card, Whipping Wire, 7 health. Persistent effect, if this is the assault turn, any player suffers 2 damage, otherwise unleash. Next turn is us. We will prep a spell with 4 money. We'll go ahead and get one of our Phase Portalites. And in their turn, getting this. Next will be us. We're going to deal 2 damage to a minion. We're going to make it this guy, taking him down to 5, and get a charge. Prep a spark. And then with these 4, we will get a prophetic lens. Ending our turn and drawing 5. Next turn is us. Spark. We take out one of these. We'll go ahead and bank 3 money here to open our level 3 breach. Then with this is going to give us 3, so we have 4 that we can use to purchase anything with. And we're going to go with a Breach Communion. So next turn is us. Drop a spell. Play this to gain a charge. Then reveal the top card of your deck. You may destroy it. If we don't, we'll gain a money. We're going to go ahead and destroy it. So we have 3 money. We'll go with Soothing Torporine. And hitting up with 2 spells and 3 money cards. And then with the Assault, Gravehold suffers 1 damage for each beacon in play. So we have 1 beacon down to 29. Nothing. This is the assault turn. Any player suffers 2 damage. Otherwise unleashed, so we took the 2 damage because of the assault turn. New card. We need to spend 6 money. So it starts with 3 power. Unleash twice, then any player suffers damage equal to the number of beacons in play. And we will shuffle for the next round. And this will start with us. We're going to deal 2 damage to a minion. Gain a charge. Prep some spells. Then while prepped, once per turn during your main phase, you may gain a pulse token. We will do that. We'll use our special ability. Once per turn during your main phase, you may discard a card in hand. If you do, silence a minion. Then, since our level 3 breach is opened, we've got 4 money. We'll go ahead and get another phase Portalite. Ending up with these. Next turn will be us. So we're going to go ahead and deal 2 damage and 3. We'll go ahead and take out the whipping wires. Then we are going to gain a charge. We can reveal the top card of our deck. We may destroy it, but I'm not going to, so we'll gain a money. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to spend all that to get rid of this card. Discard, drawing 2, 3, 4, 5. Next turn is us. We will prep a spell. We've got 3 money to use for whatever, then another 3 for anything but a spell. So we'll use 3 for a spell. So when you gain this, gain 2 pulse tokens. And during cast, we can deal 2 damage. We may lose 1 pulse token. If we do, any player gains a life. Then with these final 3, we'll grab some Soothing Torporines and end our turn. Next round, we've got 2 spells and some gems. It will be our turn. So we can deal 2 damage to a minion, which we'll go ahead and do, and gain a charge. Prep some spells during a main phase. Gain a pulse token. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll spend 2 on some fire. And then 4 on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then some bad turns are coming. Nemesis, nothing happens here. Draw a card. So we have the Skybound Leviathan. So 9 health. Gravehold suffers 2 damage for the persistent effect, and any player discards a card in hand. Then the assault turn. So 1 damage to Gravehold, down to 28. Gravehold suffers 2 more damage, down to 26. Then we discard a card in hand. And then a slice. Player with the most expensive card in hand degrades a card and suffers 3 damage. Starts with 3 power on it. And we will shuffle for the next round. And it will start with us. So with this one, we deal 2 damage. We may lose 2 pulse tokens if you do deal 3 additional damage. So we will deal 5 to the Leviathan and deal 1 to the protective beacon. Prep out a sparking siphon. Gain a charge. Reveal the top card of their deck. We may destroy it. We won't. So we've got 3 money to purchase with. I think we'll go with the Geophage. And then draw into a bunch of gems. So next turn is us. So we can deal 2 damage. And then you may lose a pulse token. If you do, any player gains a life. We will. Taking us up to 9. We will discard a card to silence a minion. We have 5 here, so we'll go ahead and get a Breach Communion. And then with 2, we will focus. All right, getting a couple spells and 3 gems. Next turn goes to us. We will prep. We are going to end up with 8 money and go in for a Breach Collision. Getting 1 card and 4 more. So that's what we have. Couple spells. Nemesis turn. Lose a token. Lose a power. Draw a card. So Caustic Larva, persistent effect is unleashed, but we do not evolve for this round since we're getting some help from Malistar. Next turn will be an assault. So no beacons out. Gravehold suffers 2 damage, and any player discards a card in hand. It's down to 24. We'll go ahead and discard this. Remove a token. We're going to unleash, bringing out one of these. So no special ability, just a shield and 2 health. And we get to ignore evolving this round. Then our next card is Unleash twice. Player with the most cards in hand that costs 2 or more discards all of those cards and draws that many cards. So unleashing twice. Bring out a Grave Beacon. The player with the lowest life suffers a damage. And any player suffers a damage. So then the player with the most cards in hand that costs 2 or more discards all of those cards. So we'll discard these 2. And draw that many cards. So drawing 2 more. Getting some not so good crystals. And then last turn. Deal 2 damage to minion and gain a charge, but we're full, so nothing there. Then we can deal 2 damage with this one. Get rid of the draining beacon. Prep out a spark. Go ahead and discard a card to silence a minion. and then use 2 to focus. Then we're going to take all these off. So Gravehold gains 5 life, up to 29. And if you have 4 less life, gain 2, we're at 7. And drawing into a couple spells. And time to reshuffle. All right. Next turn will be us. Spark for 1 damage, getting rid of the Grave Beacon. Prep out 2 spells. Use this to gain Pulse Token. We'll gain a charge. Look at the top card of our deck. Choose not to destroy it. So we've got 1 money, 2, 3, possibly 4. We will go ahead and get some phased Port of Light. Ending up with 1 spell and 4 gems. Next turn goes to the nemesis. That's not good. All right, the player with the most expensive card in hand degrades that card and suffers 3 damage. So, fortunately, we got this, so it gets degraded down to a Breach Communion. Then we will take 3 damage, going down to 4. We'll unsilence this guy. He doesn't do anything. And the new card, you need to spend 8 money. Got 3 nemesis turns. Then in Unleash, set this card next to the nemesis mat for the rest of the game. Both nemesis turn order cards are assault's turn order cards. Next turn is us. We're going to spin these 2 so we can deal 5 damage. Then another 2 damage. Then prep a spell, gaining a Pulse Token. And then we have 3, 6, 7, 8 money, which we will go ahead to spend to get rid of Ferocious Assault. Drawing 2. Getting this for our next round. Going to us. We'll go ahead and deal 2 damage. Taking it down to 1. Prep another Breach to get a Pulse Token. I'll go ahead and use this to destroy a gem in her hand. And just in case, we're going to silence a minion. And with 4 money, get another Breach Communion. Next turn, we'll be looking at 2 spells and these 3 crystals. It will be our turn. We'll go ahead and get rid of this guy. Prep a couple spells. Then with these 3, let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and open this. Drawing into these cards. And an assault. So 1 damage on Gravehold. Guardian doesn't do anything else. Then it's going to unleash twice, and then we'll suffer 3 damage. So the first one, any player discards a card in hand. We'll get rid of that. Second, no effect. Just a shield and 2 health. Then we suffer 3 damage. Cutting it close. And shuffle our turn order deck. Next turn will be us. We will deal 2 damage to this beacon. Then deal 2 damage to another, which will take, well, the way that does, deal 1 damage, which will get rid of this. If this damage is a minion, which I guess it didn't, either way, we're getting rid of the shield token. And we gain a charge. We will prep a spell. We'll play this to gain a charge. And decide not to destroy that. We are going to end up with 6 money, which we will use for 3 charges to go ahead and spend those. Hillgrave hold 5, but it'll max out at 30. And it'll give us 3 health. Then, unfortunately, I think we're going to go ahead and do this so we can gain 5 life and just waste the Gravehold gains 5. Getting us up to 8 health. And end our turn. Next round will be us. We'll deal 1 damage to get rid of the shield token. Prep a spell to get a token. Prep another spell. Total of 7, but 1 we can't use for spells. So we'll use 3 for a Sparking Siphon to gain 2 pulse tokens. Which gets us to our max 5. Then with the remaining 4, we'll go ahead and focus down here. 1 card plus 4. Next turn will be an assault. So 2 damage on Gravehold, down to 28. No triggers here. New card. Trimmer, spend 7. Got 2 turns to stop this for the nemesis to unleash twice. Gravehold suffers 4 damage. Then 13 or life or more, it would try to evolve. So next turn is us. We're going to do that. 2 tokens. And actually put our first damage on the Maelstrom. Then we'll deal 2 damage, take out one of these beacons. And we can lose a token to gain a life. So going up to 9. Then we'll put 2 of those in play to get 2 more tokens. Then we have a total of 6 money. We'll use 2 of the good ones to get some fire and the other 4 to focus. So 5 cards. Next turn is the nemesis. So that does nothing. Lose a power there. And Bladius. So we've defeated him before. So card E62. So last round I should have banished him. And so we'll just skip that and draw another nemesis card. Getting unleashed twice. So any player discards a card in hand. And a protective beacon with 3 health. Then we discard the 3 most expensive cards in my hand. So 1, 2, 3. And then our last turn, we will deal 2 damage over here. And just deal another 2 damage to this beacon. Then we'll bank the money and do nothing with it. So this is what we have for our next round. Time to shuffle. And we get to go first. Prepping 2 spells. We have a total of 6 money to use, so we will focus and put on a charge. And 5 cards. Goes to us. 2 damage and gain a charge. Take it down to 1. Then we'll just go ahead and get rid of it. Gonna gain a charge. Look at that. We could get rid of it, but we're not going to, because we have 7 money, which we'll use to get rid of the trimmer. And then prep 2 spells. 1 card and 4 more. Getting 3 spells and 2 gems. Next turn is us. So we're going to deal a total, well, we'll start with 2 damage. Spend 1 of these to gain a life. So we're up to 10. And so 1, 2, 3 damage. Down to 57. Prep 3 spells. Gain a token. Then with 3 money, we'll go with a nice gem. Getting 1 spell and 4 other cards. Next round is a nemesis. Just drawing a card. So unleash 3 times. Gravehold suffers 2 damage. Any player destroys 3 cards in hand. So first one, any player suffers a damage. Then we will shuffle. All right, any player discards a card in hand. Discard our phased Portalite. And lastly, just a Guardian Beacon with a shield and 2 health. Then Gravehold suffers 2 damage, down to 26. Then any player destroys 3 cards in hand. So this is what we've got. These 3 are going to get destroyed. Then next turn will be us. So we're going to spin that with 2 tokens to do 5 damage, taking it down to 52. Then we'll deal 2 damage. And spin a token to gain a life. Then spend 2 damage. Then prepper 1 spell, gaining a token. So this is what we've got. And nemesis. 1 damage. New card, power of 1, unleash twice. The players collectively destroy the 2 most expensive prep spells. So hopefully I shuffle good for me. All right, and it goes to the nemesis. So we're going to unleash twice. Protective beacon, 3 health. Gray beacon, the player with the lowest life suffers the damage. Then the players collectively destroy the 2 most expensive prep spells. We only have 1, so that's destroyed. And a new card. Got a Facet Ogre with 4 shields. So persistent effect, Gravehold suffers damage equal to the number of shield tokens this minion has. This minion has 2 or less shield tokens. It evolves, which won't be happening. All right, our turn. Put those in play. Actually, I'll wait a second. All right, we've got 5 money. I'm going to go ahead and open this breach. Now put them in play to get us 2 tokens. Okay, so that's what we got, 2 spells there. Next goes to us. Spin 2. This will deal 6. So down to 46. And then 5 more. So 41. Then prep some spells. Gonna discard a card to silence a minion. And with 5 money, we'll take our last Breach Communion. Two cards there. Getting 2 spells out of it. We'll take another turn. So this can deal, well, we'll start with this one. We'll go ahead and take care of this one and gain a charge. Then this deals 3 damage. Then prep. We'll gain a charge here and take a look at the top card we've got and decide to keep it. So we have 6 money. We'll go in for refined aluminium. Getting 2 spells and some gems. Then we get an assault turn, so 1 damage over here. Then unsilenced. New card. We need to spend 8 money for Gathering Storm. Power of 2, unleash. If there are 2 Nemesis turn order cards in the turn order discard pile, any player suffers 4 damage. Otherwise, ignore. And then our turn. We will deal 1 damage to take off a shield token. Then 3 damage to take out that beacon. Prepping spells, getting a token. Discard a card to silence a minion. Then with 5 money, we'll get one of these to get 2 tokens. Ending up with 2 spells in hand. And shuffle for the round. All right, Nemesis turn. unsilenced. Remove a token. Draw a card. Unleash twice. So the player with the lowest life suffers a damage. And just a protective beacon. Then the player with the most prep spells returns those spells to the hand and then destroys 3 cards in hand. Well, guess we're getting rid of gems. Nemesis goes again. So we've got 2 beacons, so 2 damage. Down to 22. The Gravehold suffers damage equal to the number of shield tokens this minion has, so that's going to be 4. Down to 18. Unleash. There are 2 Nemesis turn order cards in the any player suffers 4 damage. All right, there are, so we're unleashing once. So Guardian Beacon. Shield and 2 health. And 4 damage. Going down to 4. Then we get another card. Beast of Blades. Unleash. Any player suffers damage equal to the number of beacons in play. 17 health. All right. Our turn. We will be busy prepping spells. And then drawing 5. At least we know we've got 4 turns to go. And when I prep those, I'm going to go back and give me those 2 there. So I'm going to go ahead and use 2 of those to do 6 damage here. Then I'll do this one for 2 damage to get rid of this beacon. Then 2 damage. I'll gain a life. Actually, I'm not going to gain a life there. Just the 2 damage to get rid of a shield. And 2 damage to get rid of the beacon. Then I'm going to discard a card to silence a minion. Prep 2 spells. Gain a charge token. And go ahead and spend all these to gain 2 life. And heal 5 over here to 23. Then use this 3 to get another card and end their turn. Getting 5 cards. Next turn, we'll just use this to deal 3 damage to this guy. And then spend those to deal 5 damage. Then prepper spells. Use this to draw a card. And then use that to gain a charge and see what's next in our deck. We'll go ahead and destroy that. Actually, I'm not going to destroy that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Never mind. Yes. Original answer. Destroying. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 money to go ahead and get a breach collision. Ending our turn. And our final play. I'm going to deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. And gain a charge. Drop some spells. Discard a card to silence a minion. And then with 5 money, we'll go pick this up. Getting this. Shuffle for another round. And first turn will be us. We'll get rid of this one. Spend a token to gain a life. Take down a shield. Spend a token to gain a life. Prep out 4 spells. Use each of these to gain a token. Then bank of money that we won't use. So next turn. So nothing from the assault. Lose the shield token or silence. Unleash 4 times, or Gravehold suffers 4 damage, and any player suffers 4 damage. I think we're going to choose the damage sacrifice. Going down to 19. And 4. Next turn is us. We're going to spend 2 to do 6 damage. Down to 35. And then this thing has 3 shields on it. So 1 shield, 2 shield, 3 shields. Prep those. Get some tokens. Then we have 7 money. Get a breach collision. Next turn is us. We will use that to take out the Facet Ogre. Spend the 2 tokens to deal 6 damage, down to 29. Prep a spell, gain a charge. Reveal the top card, we'll keep that. We'll go to this to go ahead and draw a card. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 money. We're going to spend 6 down here, 2 over here, then spend all these to have Gravehold gain 5 life up to 24. And then since we're at 4, we'll go up to 6. And for our next round, our turn. So 6 damage to him, so down to 23. Gravehold will heal up to 25. Then 2 more damage to 21. Prepping a spell. Use this to draw a card. And we'll go ahead and prep that. Then we have a total of 8 money, 7 that we can use for anything to get another breach collision. Two cards there. 3 more. Oops. Nemesis will take a turn, just drawing a card. So discard. If the assault turn order card is in the turn order discard pile, spend 8. Otherwise, spend 10 money. Player with the lowest life suffers 3 damage. A different player suffers 4. That's not cool. So 2 power on that. Shuffle for another round. All right. Our turn. Because of our good breach, this will deal 2 damage and we gain a charge. Then another 2 damage, so a total of 4. Down to 17. Then prepping. Getting 2 tokens for those. And bank a money and do nothing with it. 5 cards. So nothing from the assault. Take a token off here. Then the last card, 4 shield, 7 health, and it unleashes twice. And then just to verify our win conditions, if the nemesis has 0 life, we win. Or if the nemesis has no cards in its deck and no minions or powers in play at the end of any turn. So next, nemesis turn. So the player with the lowest life suffers 3 damage. Then a different player suffers 4 damage, but we don't have a different player, and I think I go ahead and take that. So 3 will be enough. First, we are going to unleash twice. So any player discards a card in hand. Get rid of that. Oops, that guy goes over here. And then any player suffers 1 damage, which is going to equal 2 damage for Grave Hold. And since we had 1 more damage to go there, that would be another 2 damage. We'll blow up one of our breaches. That spell will get discarded. Then we get rid of any charge tokens. All right, and let me just, yes, that was that card. Now we're going to unleash twice. First one. And second one, any player discards a card in hand. So we'll just get rid of that. And no more drawn cards for the nemesis. He is out. So next is us. So we can either destroy all this or do 17 damage. So spin 2 tokens, doing 6 damage, down to 11. Another 2, down to 9. Then another 2, down to 7. Prep 2 spells. We have 3 money. We'll get a Sparking Siphon, which will get us 2 tokens. Drawing into this. Our turn. 6 damage over here. Down to 1. Grave Hold up to 2. For 22. Then fire to defeat the Maelstrom Risen. All right, so if we won our game, read the front of L45. So Maelstrom's shell cracks open, streaming bright light from countless fractures. You can see its core as it splits apart, a twisted black void living inside. Its blades hurl towards the ground, piercing the earth and towering above you like monuments. When Maelstrom's massive body crashes into the battlefield, the ensuing earthquake fills the air with debris and knocks you down. All you can see is dust. L46. So when the dust finally settles, it's clear that Maelstrom is no more. A sullen silence settles over you and the rest of the mages as the reality of what you have done sets in. Laughter and cheers break the silence, and you are overcome by a feeling of relief. Brahma offers you each a hug as tears fill her eyes. I'm so proud of you, mages. Without you, humanity would not have survived. Everyone in this camp owes you a debt of gratitude. You let Brahma's words sink in as you enjoy the flurry of handshakes and congratulations. That you survived shows you are capable warriors. Mist approaches you. I see the sadness in your eyes as you look upon the battlefield and think of all that we have lost. You have taken the responsibility of Gravehold's protection seriously, and for that I have but one final instruction. Listen to the power growing inside you, embrace it, and you will become stronger than ever. So open Insight 13. Each player chooses to reduce the cost of their ability by 1 charge, or for spells cast from their open 3 breach to deal 1 additional damage. Either place one of the negative charge stickers on the last charge space on your playmat, or place the +1 damage sticker on the open side of your level 3 breach. So, Insight 13. I think since I get my level 3 breach open so quickly, we will do that instead of the charge stickers. And then, now go, you should be ones to close the breach. Banish all the Nemesis cards labeled Maelstrom Risen at the bottom. Turn order card and his Nemesis mat. Read the back of this card when we're ready to close the final breach. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. If so, please click on the like button below.